right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. sharp. Here we are. Let's go, Rangers. What a game. Yeah, and someone in New Jersey won the Mega Million. I saw that, Chef. Saw your tweet. Back to work, Chef. Back to work. You were dreaming for a little bit. We could all dream until that ticket does not hit. I didn't even know about it. I would have bought tickets last night, but I didn't know until right as it drew, unfortunately. 1.13 billion. Damn. That's a big one. That's a big one. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Damn, did my family. Yeah, wish bread, man. I have a buddy in New Jersey. Maybe I'll hit him up. See if he won it. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Another day. But another day that is just not great, man. Another day that's just back within the same SPY and ES range that has been pretty difficult to get any kind of clear continuation. So, again, I think a day of a little bit of patience, to be honest here. Another day of a little bit of patience because we saw a little bit of drama to end the day yesterday, and those levels again held very strong. 518 on SPY, 18.4 on NQ futures. And we are right back to where we started, right back inside the sort of consolidation range that's been a time to be a little bit hands off, a little bit foot off the gas, and sort of wait for that next major move. So it's looking similar again today. It's very similar unless we finally get a break of some kind of a key level. It's going to be, again, a very similar day as yesterday. Haven't traded much at all. I think that was probably the right move. I haven't really taken many positions either. I've taken maybe one trade a day, one or two trades a day, and just did not like a lot of what I've been seeing. So we'll wait, right? We'll wait. We'll stay patient. There'll be another big opportunity around the corner, and we're just going to have to be there waiting to nail it. But for now, definitely a little bit of a slow chop after the big FOMC move, right? We had that big FOMC move last Wednesday, and ever since that Wednesday move, it's been just sort of this sideways consolidation, which is not bad, right? It's necessary. So in terms of, if you're a short-term trader, of course you want things to be moving every day. You want every day to be a big move, every day to have opportunity. But in terms of, how the market moves, this is not a terrible thing for the market. A little bit of consolidation post-FOMC is always a pretty, it's a good thing to see. It's pretty normal. So that's just the period of the market we're in, and we have to accept it. They found the voice data recording from the ship. Okay, interesting. That'd be interesting to hear that. All right. 8:03. Press that like button if you guys could, and let's just get it started. So we'll start with that economic calendar today. Not too much on the calendar, but we do have that crude oil inventories, and crude has been sort of rising. So you also saw that statement out of Russia. Putin said to limit supply of oil. So I think that's been sort of, you've been seeing a little bit of crude increasing, a little bit of crude upside, oil prices rising here on the crude. I don't think the market's been really reacting to it as much as, in the past. So I don't know how big of an event that is, but it is something to just sort of be aware of, I'd say. Let me go ahead and pull back up that economic calendar. So we do have the crude oil inventories today at 10:30. We can keep an eye on that at 10:30. See, how the market reacts to that 10:30 event. Also keep an eye on that /CL. So not really much there. 6 o'clock tonight, you got Waller speaking. It's after market close, so not too much interest there. Tomorrow is really the big event, GDP, unemployment claims, pending home sales. And then the market is closed Friday. So today and tomorrow, our last 2 days, man, I think this could be, honestly, if I didn't, the honest truth is I like to come here, and I know a lot of people like to watch this live stream. I know a lot of people, are in the Discord community. But if you guys are just out there trading by yourself, man, I would just not even trade the next 2 days. Take the week off, come back. It's a short week. Come back Monday, and it might just be the right call. It's a short week. Markets closed Friday. You got GDP tomorrow. And I say, it's probably best you just wait for this sort of mess to figure itself out. Monday morning, maybe we'll get some better opportunity. So that would be my personal thought right now. But we'll see if anything changes. We'll see if maybe we can get some action on GDP, get some action on unemployment claims, hopefully get some action tomorrow out of some of these events. The problem again today, right, that we're going to face is that the market's probably anticipating a lot into tomorrow, right? If the market's anticipating events, right? What typically happens on the market if it's anticipating large events? Chop, no continuation, no really strength to either direction. That's typically what we see when the market is anticipating a future event. And so tomorrow we have GDP, which is a pretty decently sized event, and the market may just be chilling and waiting for that to sort of hit. So be careful today, knowing that we have that anticipation for tomorrow. All right. Let's go into Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and review what happened yesterday. And guys, to be honest, I think the key thing here is it's just a channel, right? We can look at the trends. We can look at diagonal lines everywhere, whatever you want to look at. I think all that really matters is this and this, right? This is, I have this level here, and I'll explain why in just a second. But I truly believe that trading in here is just not in our best interest, right? Unless we are looking to fade the highs, right? We could try to fade the highs, and we could try to long the lows. But getting involved, getting active, getting very active and trading a lot in between this area, anywhere sort of in the 75% range of this area is just not going to be our best trading, right? If, think of this as a bell curve. I don't know. I'm going to try to draw out a bell curve for you here, but it's going to be very difficult. Think of this as a bell curve, right? I would try to trade the extremes for reversals in a channel. I would stay very far away from the center of this bell curve. If the market is trading in the center of this 18,625 to 18,400, I would be very cautious. You really don't have an edge in between this channel, right? It's just been sort of random action, right? The only clear thing that happened yesterday was just to fade the highs, which was the previous supply level. Very clean there. And then once we popped into this demand low, you can see a little bit of upside off that level. But anything sort of 75% range of this channel, which is exactly where we're opening. We are opening exactly in the middle of this channel today, which is pretty ugly, right? We are literally right at the 50% of this channel this morning. There is zero edge in this channel right here. So tough, right? Tough to start the morning. The only thing that is interesting at all to me here is that, yes, we have continued to hold 18.4, right? We have continued to hold this 18.4 demand on this pullback. This has still been a solid hold level, and this is still above the daily 20, and there still is that sort of sneaky suspicion of some kind of a bull flag here that is forming, right, for that sort of next upside move. But, man, I don't know if I would try to go for that long until we're over this high, right? You might just want to wait. As good as this may look, right, as good as this little flag may look, buying longs off 18.4, it does look great. I like it personally for maybe that next move. But you're probably going to run into a lot of drama and a lot of problems at our supply highs, right? We have a very clear triple top high now, whatever you want to call it, triple top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call this high. We can definitely see the supply that is extremely heavy at 18,624, 18,625. So if you do long this, right, and you're looking for that breakout, just know that you really are trading into this major supply level, and it might not give it to you, right? It may not give it to you. So what would be a better play in my eyes? It would be to wait for this to just sort of break and just sort of hold, sort of make this supply level sort of just prove it incorrect, right? See that the market says, hey, I'm getting above this high. I'm no longer going to stay below this high, and I am now going to look to turn this into support. If you see this step up, this might just be the cleanest trade, right? You see that previous high turn into new lows, and then you can take that long with a lot of confidence on a hold above 625. Without that, you are playing at risk of just sort of this continuation of channel, right? If you long here, you're playing risk of this. If you short here, you're playing risk at that, right? And you're just sort of trading within this zone. So, tough one, right? Definitely not an easy one. There's two different reads here for sure, right? There's the break and the retest long off 18.4 off the 20 SMA, and then there is the supply rejections of the highs that could continue to fail this market lower. Two very clear reads, very clear reasons for this market to go either way. I would not be shocked to see either side here, right? I would not be shocked to see this. There's no reason that doesn't happen. Very clear supply, triple top highs on the Nasdaq futures could absolutely cause that next, lower move. And then I would not be shocked to see the break and the retest long that forms off the daily 20 SMA. So what I'm going to do personally, I'm going to try my best. And, if I do trade in this zone, I'll scale down and I'll just accept that it's not my best opportunities. But if I start to see something like this, or if I start to see something like this, right, that's where I will get heavy with my position sizes, right, on a break and hold above or below this channel. So that's that on the Nasdaq, 18,625 to 18,400. The one level that I think you could put on your charts for sort of a shorter term look here is the sort of flush level from yesterday, which is also some previous lows. It's right around this 18,540. This is maybe a level you could look to trade off of in the extreme short term today. 18,540. If there's any level that's sort of in the center of this channel, it's probably right here. You can see right here. These lows, some lows here, right? Some lows from yesterday. After we broke those lows, we got a very major flush. And you can see today, we're sort of right at that level right now. So 18,540 would be, I wouldn't trust this with my life. I wouldn't trust this with a huge position, but there is sort of that middle of the seesaw level there. Right there around that 18,540. That's something you can watch today. All right, QQQ. So QQQ, pretty much the same read here. If we go to the hourly chart, you guys can see right here, we have the 444 level, right? 444, 444, 444. That level continues to hold. We have this 442 in this daily 20 SMA below. But really, what is this move? I will again show you. It is more than anything, just a little channel trade that's going on. You could even move this down to like 443.50. That looks to be more of where those reactions come in. This is really just a channel, right? That's all this is. This is a supply high right there at 447.50, and this is a demand low at 443.50. That is a 4-point range. A 4-point range on the QQQ that we've traded in ever since the breakout from FOMC, right? Ever since that breakout on FOMC, we have traded in a 4-point range on the QQQ. So what I would assume, or what I would recommend, would be to stay very cautious in here, right? Do not go balls to the wall on your trades. Do not get super aggressive. Don't get, super confident in between this area, right? The market could just sort of chop inside this area. You can watch for the supply rejections at the highs. You could watch for the demand holds at the lows. But if you're going to open up today like you are right now, if you're going to open up in the center of this channel, it's going to be a difficult trade, right? So I would wait for something to get tested here, 444, 443.50. I would wait for this to come in at 447.50. I would wait for something to get hit. Yeah, I saw that MRVL just got news. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. ES. So Actually, you know what? Let's start. We'll go to the SPY last. The ES. Delete that for a second. Here's the ES. Here's the 4-hour chart. And man, I'm going to be honest with you. Right? This still looks like a very clean setup for more upside. Right? That's what this looks like to me. But is it ready? That's the question I cannot answer yet. I do not know if this is ready. Do you still have the free Discord? No. All right. So we have previous highs here, right? You can see right there, 1 and 2, previous double top highs. And I personally believe at some point, right, this is just going to look like this. Right? I don't know when. I don't know the timing of it. But this is sort of what I believe this is setting up. The problem is you could have this idea and you could be wrong, 10 times before you're right, as this market just sort of does this slow grind lower, right? So it's not, it could be there. It's very pretty. It looks clean, but you really can't just long this. You can't just say I'm in long for this idea, because you could see this, back to here, back up to there, right? And then it could happen in 3 weeks, right? So it's just not quite there yet. It's not quite there yet, no matter how much this looks clean. I like how this looks, but you're getting free levels right now, Victor. How about you pay attention instead of asking that, right? Doing it right here on the live stream, man, every single morning. So 52.50, you guys can see right here, 52.50, 52.50. That's really where I'd want it to come down to. That's really the strong level that I think should get tested eventually, right? Right down into that 52.50. The problem is that would be lower, right, than the SPY 518, which is going to be interesting. So as of right now, this is where you're at, right? As of right now, this is where you're at. You are within the exact same shit show that went on over the last 2 days, okay? Let me just reiterate that. If you have not done well trading the last 2 days, you are literally right back in. I was going to never mind. You are right back into that shit show, right? Look. So, this is Monday. This is yesterday, and you're right back in it. So there is nothing new here. You had the little drama fest last night into close. You sort of came right back above this demand low. You're right back above this 52.75 demand low. You're still below the 5,300 supply, which was a beautiful rejection yesterday. And you're sitting right in the middle. So going to need something clear here, man, to get a clean trade today. You're going to need either the break and hold below here. You're going to need maybe a pop and fade at 53 again. You are not going to be trading within this dead zone, this black hole of trading here on the ES. I would be very, very cautious getting involved unless we are here or here. This was my mistake yesterday. I got involved in here. I lost money. My mistake, right? And so today, if I make a mistake, I do the best that I can the next day to not do it again, right? That's my sort of motto. If I make a mistake one day, the next day, if I do it again, that's more frustrating than anything else. So today, I might not even trade today. There's a very good chance that I don't. I'm going to be very, very particular. When I'm on a hot streak, I keep it going. I keep it active. I'll trade. I'll keep trading. But on a day like yesterday where I lost some money on Meta, trading and sort of messing around in the middle of this shit show, I will not do it again. And so today, I'm going to need either us to move back down to here or move up to here before I'm looking for something to do, right? Looking for something to do. All right, SPY. So this is the mecca right here. This is really what I've been waiting for. And does it work out? Does it work out? 518, 518, 518, 518, right? Is this going to be our next long, right? Is this going to be our next long? It's already well over it, right? If you saw that drop into close yesterday, we pushed right into that 518. You can see the reaction off that level this morning. This was something I talked to the group about yesterday, right? A lot of people were interested in playing, SPY puts overnight. And right, sort of into that close, I was talking to the group saying, hey, if you were in SPY puts, looking for the drop in the 518, you just got it, right? You just got the drop in the 518 into close. The risk reward for holding SPY puts is no longer there overnight, right? Because if you held SPY puts overnight, you are trading back into these highs, which is the exact level that could hold, right? So you cannot, this was, last night's move was real, or the end of day move was really the sort of that time to bail out of your puts if you were on the put side trade, right? This was a dream for you. This was the dream drop that you were looking for into that 518 low. But you can't then hold those puts into that demand because you're just going to sort of fade off that level, right? So that was a dream drop for the shorts yesterday into that 518 demand. You can see how the market has sort of grinded back higher off that level. There's just no edge in between this supply high and this demand low. There's just nothing but chop fest in here that I would stay very, very careful trading. I would be very careful trading in here, right? I would be very cautious trading within this area. It'll be a very easy day. It'll be a very easy day when the SPY just can break and hold above this high or break and hold below 518, right? That day will come, and it will be a very nice trading day for everyone if you are really paying attention, right? It will be a very easy day when the Nasdaq breaks and holds over this supply high or breaks and holds under 18.4 in the 20 SMA, right? This day, when it comes, will be a very good trading day and will most likely, create more opportunities than you're going to get this entire week. So that's sort of where my mind's at right now. I'm not going to get active in here. I'll watch this longer-term setup. I'll see how it sets up. I'll see if it plays out. But this just does not interest me. This does not interest me right above this, right below this high and right above that 518. This looks like more of the same from yesterday, right? Look at your day yesterday before this drop. This was your entire day. So be careful getting involved in this. All right. Let's go to the Russell. The Russell's been sort of maintaining this daily 20 pretty well. And is it creating sort of that next, flagging move? We'll have to see if it continues to hold that 20 SMA. Right, that 2090 level, you can see it's been holding very nicely. 2090 and the daily 20, nice hold going on here. But the problem is you are still under these supply highs, and it looks like you're still having some struggle to move higher. So I would be careful trading within this 2130 and this 2090, right? I would wait to see if this can break and hold below, or if we can maybe pop and reject, or pop and hold above. All right, let's look to trade off some of these major key levels. Not really getting active in the middle of this chop fest. Okay, Dow Jones, you can see we are still holding the retest. So this is really nice still on the Dow. You can see right here, we have the previous highs, and look at that low that's forming on the Dow. So still a really nice hold on the Dow that I think looks like a break and retest long to me. Something I would be watching. All right, so it's an interesting trade here, man. I think this is still just sort of it's sort of setting up for that next trade. It's still just consolidating. This is definitely consolidation on the Nasdaq. There's no doubt about that. Very, very key consolidation that's sort of forming here. The next move will absolutely be apparent once we break this consolidation, right? Once we break this consolidation, there will absolutely be a trade to either direction that I believe will be your biggest opportunity, in the following week, right? Whenever that happens. But that looks to be, unless you're trading this channel with very, very, very clear precision, very good precision, I would simply wait for the break and hold below or the break and hold above. All right? That's my personal recommendation. Let's move on to some stocks. If you guys could, press that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Tesla, awesome fade of the 184 level yesterday. Again, beautiful fade right at our supply highs. Congrats to those who caught this one. This was a very nice fading move. You can see we had a nice pop early morning on Tesla right into our 184 supply, which was a perfect supply rejection and fade. Really nice sort of fade into day. Congrats on that one. 184, nice level there. Now, something is very key here. All right? Something is very key here. Tesla is still potentially creating that structure higher, right? We are still potentially creating that structure higher. You guys can see right here, we had these lows here. That's low number 1, right? We had these lows form here. This is potentially low number 2. And now we are looking to see if Tesla can turn this 175 level into low number 3, right? Can Tesla start to do this, right? Is this what Tesla is going to start doing? Are we going to start seeing the structure higher, right? And so for that to happen, for us to start seeing that structuring move higher, that stair-stepping move higher, we need to hold 175. We need to hold 175 on Tesla. If we get a pullback to 175, this needs to be your new low. If you break back under 175, this trade is dead, okay? It's right back to where it started. It's dead again. It needs to hold 175. It needs to start creating higher lows. It had a low here. It had a second low here, and it's on its third low here. This needs to hold above 175. If it does, you can start to see that sort of structure and possibly try again for that break of 184, okay? So that's the key. I would only long Tesla back towards this demand. I would not be longing it into that 184 level. Don't start longing at 182 right into 184. That's a really ugly entry point. That's a asking for annihilation entry point, right? If you entered at 182 yesterday, you got smacked. Don't enter longs close to this red supply level. If you're going to enter longs, I like them down here at 175. If you want to get aggressive with it, you could try this 178 level, right? You can maybe try this 178 level, which is these previous highs right here. You can see this, previous highs. You can maybe look to try to catch a long off this 178. But I personally like this. Let's let Tesla fade again and then see if this wants to hold here at 175. Maybe trap some shorts into that move, hold that demand, and then get that next push. So I would look for 175 to be safe here on Tesla. I would want to see it retest this channel low, retest this high here, see this, right? See that. So that's what I'd look for. If Tesla gets over 184, guys, I think there's more upside. Make sure you understand that as well, right? If Tesla gets back above this 184 level, there probably is going to be further upside, right? Probably back into that 50 SMA, around that 189. All right, Nvidia. Little ugly on Nvidia. Little bit ugly. Little ugly, brother. Not a great look, honestly. It looks to me like a little bit of a trend break here, right? Look at this Nvidia trend break. You have sort of this uptrending, higher low, or higher high, higher low move, stair-stepping move. Pushed it right back into this supply highs, right around that 960. And, little interesting trend break yesterday on Nvidia, and possibly causing a little bit of drama here. So what's the level that needs to, that we would have to get back above for me to feel like this is going to gain momentum again? That's 935, 936, right? Look at this right here. I'm going to go to the 30-minute chart. I'm going to get a little bit more time for you. And you can see it pretty clear here, right? This high right here, 936, you are rejecting that perfectly this morning. Absolutely perfectly. You have previous lows. Look at how Nvidia is rejecting these previous lows perfectly in the pre-market right now. That looks a little bit weak to me. Okay? If Nvidia breaks below this 924 level, this is going to trade lower into like this 904 here. Right? And this could be sort of that, failing move here. Little head and shoulder type formation here on Nvidia. If we stay under 936, I think this stays weak. Right? Under 936, I think that stays weak. Your next demand is right here at 924. If you break 924, You're coming down quick, right? This would be your target. Back down to that 904, 905. So very close watch here at 924 in Nvidia and very close watch at 935. Watch this channel today. Look for a break of this channel. This is probably one of your best opportunities today. A break of this channel on Nvidia outside of 936 and 924. AMD, it's been consolidating above this 175 level. It's broken out of this sort of downtrending move. Do we get this hold, right? Do we get this hold? This is going to be very interesting, right? You have this 175 and you have this 184, right? Very clear there. We have this very clear channel that has begun trading on AMD, right? Between that 175 and 184. Do we get a break and hold outside of this channel at some point in the future? That is what I would be looking for. I took some monthly AMD longs yesterday, 1 month out. I'm just basically setting and forgetting at this point. I said, all right, I'm going to do a set and forget here. I'm going to try the 175 demand. I'm going to look to see if that 175 demand does result in a further upside move. And I'm just going to set and forget some, sort of cheap $500 AMD calls for April. I have some April, I think it's April 19th monthlies. So I'm going to look to see if this wants to hold this 175. I'm going to let this consolidate, right? And then I'm going to look to see if this eventually results in that 184 break and hold. That's really the key there. So we'll see. AMD is doing nothing right now. I would not trade AMD looking for instant gratification, okay? Do not enter AMD looking for a short-term scalp. There is no such thing as a short-term scalp inside of this channel. There is, of course there is. You can obviously catch it perfectly if you really want to try to catch this perfectly. But I think, messing in here is just not going to be in your best interest. But you can watch between the channels if you want to trade between the channel. Let's go to TSM. Because TSM continues to hold, but I'm a little bit tired of even watching TSM. It's just a waste of time at this point, it looks like. TSM is holding above this 139, holding above this daily 20, but it is lifeless. It's lifeless. So pretty much no more interest in TSM here until something happens. It's holding above these previous highs at 139. It's tried to maintain it. It hasn't really done anything, and I'm just going to say leave it alone until some kind of a spark gets into this stock, because right now it is a dead move. MRVL, a little bit of upside this morning. Nice consolidation and nice hold at that 63. You can see right here, right? You can see right here, nice demand hold at 63. I think you want to move over 74, right, before you get excited here on MRVL. So what I would look for here is I would look to see if you can get above 74. If you can, maybe that catalyst can help this thing continue higher. I'd watch out for 74 here on MRVL, right here. 74, little 74. I would probably want it over 74 before getting interested. This could just be a little pop and fade. So be aware of this upside supply. Again, this is another stock that is simply trading in a channel. Okay? 74 to 64. 10-point range. Lifeless. SMCI. All right. Man, is this interesting. Man, do I want to nail this thing again. This 1080 level looks very, very interesting. You can see major highs, major lows, very clear rejection stepping in here again at 1080. Does this stick as a rejection? Do the semis get a little bit weak again? And is this our short entry off the 1080 level? The only concern I have for this idea is there's two things. Number one is three things. Number one is the overall market, right? If the overall market goes up, this is not going to go down. So that's important. Number two, I'm a little bit concerned about this daily 20 SMA, right? I don't know if SMCI is going to want to try to hold that or if it's going to want to break below it. So that's something we need to wait to see, right? We need to see if we can maintain or break this daily 20 SMA, which it maintained yesterday. Number three is this $1,000 level that is sitting here right down below. So what the better trade here probably is to wait for this move right here, right? Waiting for this is probably the right move on SMCI. So if we get a break of the 20, right, this would be a very confluent. There'd be a lot of confluences here on the short under 1,000. You would have number one, the break of trend. You'd have number two, the break of the 20, and you'd have number three, a rejection under that previous supply high. That right there is probably the correct short entry, right under that 994, 1,000 area, right? So if you wait for that, that's probably where you get your best opportunity. Under that 1,000, under that 995 area, if you can get under this and hold under this, that's probably where it gets a little bit safer, right? Because shorting before that, you're dealing with trend, you're dealing with the 20, and you're dealing with this demand right here, okay? All right. Nothing on Qualcomm. Let's go to Meta. So Meta, yesterday I went long Meta. I was looking for this really nice. I thought this was a really nice setup at the time, and it did work out for me temporarily. I was long off this little 503 hold. We got this nice squeeze to the upside, breaking this trend. But man, did we get nailed at that 510 level. 510. Absolute nail gun right at that 510. So big rejection. Should have done a little bit better. I'm a little bit, I'm not upset, but I definitely learned something from this trade. Could have done a little bit better to scale off into this pop, just sort of knowing that the market was not going anywhere and knowing that if the market was dead, it's likely that Meta was not going to get the break and hold above, right? I was sort of looking for that 510 break and hold above for upside continuation, and I should have known that, with the market shit show, you're just not going to get that breakout. So Meta failed to break that 510. I got stopped out, and you can see end of day this thing got rocked. I would look for a retest of 503 today for shorts, right? That's really what I would look for here, guys. That's really the play that looks to be the play that's right. I would look for this 503 rejection, right here. 503 right here. If we get a little pop and fade at 503, that could be a really nice entry point. So I would look for us to move back higher, back into this breakdown point from yesterday. If we do, look to see what happens at 503. That would be something I'd watch today. Google, been very strong. Really just sort of grinding higher. But, man, we are right at the 153. So this is going to get interesting today. Google sitting right at this 153 area, right? 153, 153, 153. Triple top on Google at this level. Is this a short entry, right? Or does Google hold above this level today? This could be something you watch today. Watch to see what Google does around 153 today. Nice level. Previous clear rejections here. Previous hold here, actually. You can see right here. But after we broke it, we failed aggressively. Right here, we tried to hold 153, and we're sitting right at it again. 153. Big level on Google. Watch that today. Right. Let's go to Microsoft. Oh. Yeah, I like this. I'm a little concerned about market, but I do like this for now. You can see right here. 421, right? Look at that hold. So 421 trying to hold here. Is this going to does this get, a little trend break? Do we sort of trend break off this 421 here? That's something that's slightly interesting today, right? We can definitely see Microsoft attempting to hold above that 421 level. 421, 421, 421. So 421, big level there on Microsoft. I'd like maybe to get that daily 20 up a little bit higher because it is still a little bit below price action. But you can see for now, you're definitely attempting to hold that level, right? You're attempting to hold this 421 level as we sort of fade lower on Microsoft. This is going to be the must-hold level. This could result in that next push to the upside, right? But you have to hold 421. I don't know why I keep saying 421. Let's go to Netflix. Netflix trying to live above this 625 level, but man, Netflix is just such an ugly move right now. Like, this is just not it. So I reiterate my If you guys remember my analysis from a few weeks back, right? Who remembers this analysis? I just don't like how Netflix is trading. It's just a really sort of ugly move here. I would say the only thing that sort of aligns is the fact that we're holding 625, right? You can sort of see that structure over 625. So if Netflix holds over that 625, then I would look to see, if you can catch something. But, man, it's a little bit questionable. So 625 is the level to watch. Let's go to coin, because this is an interesting fade today. I'm sort of interested in the short on coin today, depending, of course, what Bitcoin does. All right, if Bitcoin, we have to see if Bitcoin's weak today. Bitcoin's sitting right at that 70,000 mark. Maybe if Bitcoin can get a pullback off 70,000, I like this little failure back below this supply on Coinbase right here. Right, look at what Coinbase is doing. You had a previous supply high. You had a previous major supply high, right? 2 major supply high rejections. Look at how Coinbase, right? Look at how it got above it. It failed back below, and now we are popping back up, and I would want to see this, right? I want to see Coinbase fail that 276 again, just like it did here and just like it did here. If I can catch this 276 failure, right, I would look for a trade back towards that 245 demand. This could be a really nice setup. Right, I like this at 276 to potentially fade. So something I'm definitely watching today. I would like to get a little bit of Bitcoin weakness alongside of it. You can also see that on the daily chart, this is no joke of a level up here around this 280. This has been a previous major high here on Coinbase around 280. So I'm interested, right? I'm interested to see, right? Do we get this little failure right here? This would be a rejection of these rejections yesterday, rejection under here, rejection under here. Something I'll absolutely be looking for on Coinbase today. 276 fails. Let's see. MU, yeah, we still need a pullback on MU to 114. Still waiting for it. Hood, yeah, Hood released a little bit of news yesterday about, their credit card and offering some stuff to, account holders. It's been sort of grinding higher. You can't get excited in it now, right? If you were long here off the 20 or long here off the 20, well done. You actually took a real trade. You're not just trading it based off hype, right? You're actually trading it based off technicals. So at this point, you can't trade Hood because it's gone. So now you have to wait for a pullback, right? You wait for a pullback to 1940. 1 and 2, pullback here, then you look to long it there. You do not come into the day, oh my God, I'm bricked up. Hood announced this news, and I'm just going to chase this thing to Valhalla, right? That is not a trading strategy, and nor will it ever be. So you see, could break out. You have a previous very clear double top high. You are now waiting for us to pull back lower and hold this level to create a long opportunity. You are not waking up with a hard on saying, holy shit, Hood's to the upside. I have to take calls at open and I will get crushed. Even if it works out for you, that is going to be the death of you, right? Even if you buy calls this morning on Hood because you're so excited about this news and it goes higher this morning, this eventually will catch up to you. This type of trading will catch up to you. I can guarantee it. I'll put my life on it. If you have that mentality and that's how you trade, at one day or another, right, sometime in your future, you will get slammed, right? And that's just the simple truth. So maybe it works out for you, right, if you just chase this thing, but I would want to be trading correctly, trading with the strategy. And the trading with a strategy here is a pullback to the breakout point and then create that long entry off that level right here. This is your entry point right here. Okay. Next. What's next? What is next? Amazon. So, man, Amazon's just sort of tough. because it's just in this, like, this is such a hard type of price action to make money on it with options. If you were to net if you were to put a mean on this entire move higher, it's like right here, right? So, like, this is how options work, right? This is not good upside for options unless you absolutely nail the entry. You have to nail the entry. You have to basically buy Amazon calls when it's extremely lower, right? If you bought here, here, and here, maybe you made money on this upside move. But if you bought anywhere in the middle here, right, it's just not really doing anything for you. Right, you can see this Amazon move just has been so sort of slow. It's just back and forth and back and forth. It seems to be trying to build here above this 20 SMA, which I do like. I do like that, and I do still like that it's trending higher. You'd want to sell puts here. If you sold the puts, then you'd be great. Selling calls would be maybe good, but there's going to be, if it's in an uptrending move, I'd probably sell the puts because if it just sort of grinds higher, that's going to be good for you. But anyways, I like how it's grinding higher. I think it's strong. I think it's structured. But man, you have to really nail pullback. So what I would want to do is you'd have to see like a quick pop back down to that 176 and then nail that pullback for longs, right? I would not try to long it at a higher level. So you can see, like, if we look at these last few days, look at these wicks, right? See these wicks right here? These were your entries, right? Entry, entry, entry for that sort of midday pop off that pullback. That's really what you got to look for here. So I would look for entries sort of back at this 20 SMA if I was you on Amazon. If Amazon can give you a flash move lower into that demand, you might be able to catch something. But, yeah, this 180 level is just sort of concerning to me, right? See this 180 level? I don't know, man. It's too heavy up here. Right, 180, 180, 180, 180, just really heavy up here. And I'd be careful. I'd be careful being aggressively long as we approach 180. Fastest way to get a hold of me, probably email Discord, but email. And it's not that fast. I'll get back to you when I can. Sorry, Larry. I check my emails as often as I can, man. I'm a one-man show over here. All right, Amazon. So that's that. Apple, man, it's just a shit show. I can't even recommend looking at Apple anymore. I'm being honest. I just can't even recommend to you guys to even watch Apple as a stock. This is not anything. This is disgusting on Apple. It's not even worth looking at. Yeah, Amazon's not that interesting to me either, Matt. I agree. Maybe it's something off 170 eventually here, man, but this is just sort of a dead stock walking right now. It's a dead stock walking. That's all this is. It's not something I would even be interested in trading. Let's go to ARM. Here's the thing I'll say about ARM, guys. You are trading in this channel, and 90 whatever % of the float of this stock is owned by SoftBank. So I have now sort of decided I would stay far away from this. You can look to fade the highs. You can look to hold the demand lows. But I would stay a little bit cautious on this one. Yesterday was a really sort of nutso drop. And this does feel like liquidation, right? This feels like a little bit of selling from the owners of this stock, basically. This does not feel right here on ARM. And so I would not want to be stuck in this. This is the last thing you want to get stuck in. And that is likely due to a little bit of big-time selling coming from some large, sort of owners of the stock, some insiders of the stock. That is definitely not a normal sell-off there yesterday on ARM. So because of that, I would be a little bit cautious getting involved here. I would say this is a double black diamond right here. This is a double black diamond that something could sneak up on you, and you catch an edge, and you get smacked. All right, let me think about my best trades of the day. I think Nvidia might be top watch of the day. I think this is a really clear rejection setting up here. So this is definitely one top watch of the day here. in between this channel right here, 935 to 925, sort of in that area. SMCI is definitely a top watch today to see what happens at that 1080. Not much on AMD. Coinbase, I think, is a top watch for me. I'm going to watch that 276 level pretty closely. And I think that's about it, guys. And then maybe that Microsoft. That Microsoft off that 421. All right, guys. We'll go over that ES real quick, ESNQ. So ES still holding that 52.75, like I said yesterday, or not yesterday, like I said earlier on this live stream. If you did not do well trading yesterday, all right, think back to yesterday. Think about the action yesterday. If you did not do well yesterday, you are at the exact same levels that we were at yesterday morning, okay? You are at the exact same levels. The day is starting exactly where you had nonsense all day yesterday. So please be careful in the middle of this channel. This is the same as the SPY. Nonsense yesterday. You're at the same exact channel. The only thing I would say is that, man, oh man, does this, for this 518 flag, get me interested, right? Look at this 518 flag. Is this the next move? Something to absolutely be watching here. How do we know that that's the case? How do we know if that's going to be what happens? You're waiting for the break of this high. If you get over yesterday's highs right here and hold, that's your entry point. On the ES, that is 5,300. On the Nasdaq futures, that is this triple top high at 18,625, and on the QQQ, that is 447.50. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you guys could, press that like button for me. If you could, press that like button. If you come here every day, there's half of you that do not press the like button, which is must be out of spite. If it's out of spite, reconsider. I hope you reconsider. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.